Hello, Teaquilters. Welcome to Teaquilts Live Sew and Chat. Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. And we're here from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you have any questions tonight, or if you just want to sew along with me, post in the comments what it is that you're working on tonight as well. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the thumbs up button as you're coming in. We're waiting for other people. And also, if you're not subscribed to my Facebook page, Teaquilts LLC, go over there and join, but make sure that you answer the 4 questions so that you can be granted admission into the group. So welcome, everybody. I hope you're having a great weekend thus far. Let me go out of chat just so that I can go back in, and hopefully I don't have to do this again. All right, so I see we have Melody Kiefer, Vivian Calvey, Melina Montoya, Ray Mahone, Betsy Layton saying her rent's paid. She's making some boot covers for my daughter to wear in a production she is in a couple of weeks. So that's different sewing, boot covers. Kevin Quilter is here saying hello to everyone. Carissa Renager, Francis Jackson, Brenda Foley, Sheila Willis, Zella McKenzie, and Deborah Sims Brown. So welcome, everybody. I've been sitting here for just a couple of minutes trying to, I don't know what side I was pinning now, trying to start pinning some of the, because that takes the longest part. So I came in here about, I don't know, 5 minutes early. I didn't even get one whole side done yet. So by the time I got everything situated with the live, but 2 or 3 minutes is better than no minutes. So trying to save minutes so I have more minutes to work on. Hopefully, let me see if this is flat everywhere. Yep. So that I can hopefully work on a boxy bag. Hopefully. So I've already on my borders, I've already pinned each side and the middle, and then I go back and in between and make sure everything else fits properly. And I put a pins so it doesn't move as I'm sewing, and then I know it's going to be square quilt when I'm done. So that's just one side. I gotta go over and do the other side. I don't want it to hit anything. Let's see. I gotta find center. It's a sashing row, but you know, the appropriate way to find it is to fold it and stick a pin in it temporarily. And then take the center of my strip that I pressed in half, put that on to the pin. So let's see. T. Roberts came in, Lana Dean, Maddie Barnum. Who else? Let's see. Linda Gray, Maria Gumas. Welcome to the live chat, Maria. I haven't seen your name before, I don't think. saying she's from Las Vegas. And I don't know if she's saying she's deaf or something else. But welcome to the chat. Appreciate you putting a comment in the box. Dee Branson is here. Miss Topaz, I'm sorry. Nikki B. Sharon Lewis is here saying her rent's paid along with some others. That means that they've already hit their thumb up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button already, go on out there and do it now and come on back in while I'm just saying hi to everybody. Hey, Remo JS, thank you for my pinned message. Says, good evening, Miss T and quilters. Thumbs up, show your love and support to the queen of quilting, educator, and the most honest. Stop lurking, you know you're watching. Hit the thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, join us over on the Facebook page as well. Teaquilts LLC, make sure you answer the 4 questions so that you get into the group. Otherwise, you may be denied. She says she needs closed caption for deaf. I don't think that I can do that, but I'll check these settings. I don't see where I can add that in this chat. Maybe if you go into your settings, maybe it'll pop up on your screen, but I can't do that here. I don't see it in settings for me to change. Let me hold on a message. Hope I don't block somebody. I don't see that option. Let's see. I don't see that option, Maria. I'm so sorry. I don't know how they do that. I know you can do closed caption put that on your TV screen, but I don't know how to make it show up automatically. Let's see, who else is here? Michelle the Quilter is here. Cynthia Shade. Renee White, welcome to the live chat. Thank you for explaining the rent paid. I was really scratching my head. Yes. Oh my goodness. Dolores Phelps is here. It's just a polite way of asking people to hit the thumbs up. Helena Carter is here. Saying she leave tomorrow for her cruise. Yay! Yay! I want to go on another cruise. I've been thinking about it. I saw a YouTuber having a cruise in January next year, in 2026, not this January. And I'm thinking about going, even though, you know, I really don't want, I'm not interested in, like, the channel. I'm not that invested, like, but I just want to go on a cruise with some people, you know. I don't know anybody but him, and I know one of his other YouTube friends. I wouldn't know anybody else, but at least I go on there with a group instead of going on alone, you know. But I've been thinking about it because my husband, he just don't like to travel. Me, I will get up and go. It's like, what's next? A lot of people were in the chat welcoming Maria. And then Remo also says that her TV should allow it, but I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I think I said Dolores Phelps was here. I see her name coming up again. Teresa Dawkins. To my so glad to be at the beginning of a live. Oh my goodness. Holly Duvall is here. Helena saying we should do a Teaquilts cruise. Now that I wouldn't mind doing, but would people be upset if we don't sew? Can we just go on a cruise? We can take handwork, because trying to set up like sewing machines, I have to go through some company. I have to find somebody willing to do that. The only reason they're going to do that is because then their cruise has to be paid for. So then I have to make sure, you know, all of that's accommodated for in the fees. It's just a lot. But can we just go on a cruise and maybe we could do like hand sewing, and then we could like meet up at various times and do hand stuff? Like, I can see about like renting a classroom that we could still do stuff in. I just don't want to do the whole sewing machine thing right out the gate. So yeah, I would love to go on a cruise with the Teaquilters, and we can just go have fun. Hi, Jacqueline Mason. Welcome, welcome. Hand is a 4-letter word, girl. No, it's not. I don't think, like, if you're not with a sewing machine company or something like that, I don't think cruises allow an individual to bring a sewing machine unless it's like they know about it in advance. So, you know, if people have travel machines, maybe we could do something with that. I don't know, but I'm interested. So interested. I just don't want to do a 17-day cruise. A week is about enough. No more than a week. Kevin talking about just cruise it out and shop for fabrics. You know, I don't know if all the places have fabric stores and stuff like that. And Helena says, yes, we can do handwork and just enjoy our time. Like, you know, we can do some other like plan type things. They don't have to be all sewing related. And then I'm one of the people that actually like the shows. I don't get all into too much into the onboard crafting. Some cruises have onboard crafting, some don't. But I don't really get too much into that because I'm already doing my own crafting. But yeah. Hey, Bonita Nance, welcome. Minnie Doula's here, welcome. T says, we're having a cruise next Thanksgiving. Come aboard. Girl, send me some information. Send me some information, for real. If all I gotta do is catch a flight, maybe, and get to a hotel that has shuttle to and from the port, yeah, send it to me, because I just don't want to rent a car. I just want to cruise. That's what I want to do. I'll come the day before, and then so I'll be there, make sure I'm there. I always try to go the day before just in case any flight craziness happens. And Renee said, our man sounds like fun. See, we need to, I'm going to look into that. I got a niece. I don't know if she's a flight attendant or if she's selling training for flight attendant. I'm so confused. But I'm going to ask her and see what she says. See what she is, first of all. Not telling her what my plans are. Just ask her, what does she do? Sue Allen is here. Nikki B. Same with me. My husband doesn't want to travel, but I do. And my husband really didn't like to travel before COVID, and he really don't want to go now. Now, I did convince him. He's been on one cruise. He'll never do it again because he said he's claustrophobic. He doesn't like being feeling like there's no way outside for him or out. Like he's on the ship when it's out in the water and nothing he can do about it. Okay? He doesn't like that. And then I convinced him twice to go to Mexico. And things are, I'm not even gonna say that, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to Mexico anytime soon. I'll just say that. I'd go like to a port of Mexico, like for the day or something like that. Carol Williams is here. Claudette Battis, welcome, welcome. Lana says, wow, that would be great. Would you join a sewing? Would you join a sewing that all machines and a cruise? I don't know what you're saying, Lana, because it done some correction for you. She's down here saying, would you consider going on a cruise that is already going to be? This is my problem with that. I went on a cruise that's set up to do cruising for sewers, and I had a great time. However, if I'm promoting somebody else's event, they need to make sure that me and a couple more things or people, things, stuff is done. If I'm going to bring in X number of people, and I just don't want to do somebody else's work and have them reap all the benefits, and here I am paying for a full fare for a cruise, and I brought, say, 20, 30 people on here. I ain't for that. I've had things very similar done to me in the past, thinking that people would do the right thing, and that doesn't happen. So I'm not saying no. I'm saying I would need to have all of those particulars set up in advance. Okay, I need to know what I'm getting for X number of people. So I'm not saying it's a no, though. Because if it works out with somebody, then it would be on and popping. So thank you for explaining that. Yeah, because I had even talked to the company that I didn't pin down here. I guess not. I had even talked to the company that, this is what talking and being live, you know. I only pinned the first half. I had talked to her before, but about that, but I'm not gonna say much, but just know that everybody may have some issues with what you're doing. I think, and then I'm one of those people too that I wear Teaquilts everywhere I go. So if it's sewing related, because one of the things I do is I get to write stuff off because it's all networking. So I'm always in my gear, and I did get asked, do I wear any other shirts other than Teaquilts from the coordinator? Okay. I said I have other shirts, but my day to day, if I'm not doing anything fancy, my day to day is my shirts. It just is what it is. I go to the post office and I have my shirts on, and people ask me about quilting. So, yes, I do. I wear my shirts. I pay for them. I wear them. And I don't know why that's a problem. And Teresa says she agreed too that I agree a week and ready for home. Right. I couldn't. That's 17 days out there. We was on the ocean like 5 days straight. I don't want that. That I'm not looking for. I want to get on a ship. Maybe we can cruise the next day, all day. Maybe 2. I'll go for 2. And then I need to be off the ship on the 3rd day. Okay. None of that 5 days. We was in the water 5 days, so 6 days before I step back out onto some ground. I'm not interested. Not at all. Sharon says we could have a class on Kawandi quilting. They're similar to Sashiko. Yes, I've seen that where you start with scraps on the outside and you're kind of hand sewing your way in. And then I've also seen people doing it on the long arm machine too. But I've been saying I want to try it on my long arm. But yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, but I'm interested. And then, you know, we could still have for the 10 people that's left, we still might have a Teaquilts land event. So maybe I'll talk to some people and see what I can come up with. And I'll talk to some companies too and see what they say about that. You know, if I'm coming with just a group of friends, 4 or 5 of us, you know, I don't expect anything. But if I'm coming with 20, 30 people, I need, I need something. That's all I'm saying. I don't think my fan is on high. Hold on. Let me cut this. I didn't plug this one in, I don't think. Yep, because it's still at 50%. See if I can get this to blow up to my face. Because that's all I really care about. I'm glowing. It just comes all of a sudden. Like I've been sitting here this whole time with nothing. Would you okay. I already read that one. Forgive me for all the misspelled words, but I hope you understood me, Miss T. Yes, I got you. Yeah. And that's not to say that it's not out of the question, you know. But I need to look and see what the schedules are. And then contact some people. I can contact my niece, see what she can do. I can contact the lady and see what she do. See what she says anyway. And T. Roberts saying, will do, leaving from Tampa. It depends on where the cruise is, on where you leave from. Because if it ends up being like an Alaskan cruise, it's going to be Seattle. If it's, I don't want to do Hawaii again. Because that was San Diego. If it's the Bahamas, it could leave out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Tampa. It just depends on what part you're going to. T, didn't you talk about spray starch before? The fabric you sent me was so crisp. Oh, you're talking about the floral kit. I'm trying to think what fabric did I send you. Was it African fabric? No. It was that fabric was probably starched with faultless concentrated starch, where you make your own, and I do about 1/3 of starch to, I say like 33 to 40% of starch to water. I don't go exactly half of the bottle. Yeah, so that's what that was. And I do have a video that if you just search Teaquilts spray starch, it should come up. It has all the different types of ways that you can use starch and sizing. It's been out there for a long time. I talk about spray sizing, canned starch, best press starch, concentrated starches, and making your own starch. So with gin or vodka, not gin, vodka. I'm like, where'd gin come from? I'm like, it's something I don't drink because it hurts. So yes, I do. I have a video out there. Carl says, my Gil did a cruise and included the cost of the machine in the price of the cruise. Everyone left with a lightweight machine. Sewing Vac in the Hampton Roads area provided the machines. Now that's interesting too. But you know, some people probably already have sewing machines if you can bring them, but most times it's easier. I'm just telling you from the one experience that I've had, that it's easier for a cruise ship to bring that type of stuff in. They even told us, like, we couldn't bring rotary cutters. There has to be some, not rotary cutters. What couldn't we bring? Sewing machines. They told us to put our rotary cutters in our packed luggage, not in the carry-on. This was for the airport and the cruise. And what else? It was something else they didn't want us bringing. So, and then, you know, cruise is different as far as having electricity. So they need to know how much is going to be on so they can accommodate that amount of electricity. So you can't just go, you know, plugging in stuff all over the place like that. So they have to know how many. They have a maximum number that they want in the particular rooms. So yeah, I learned some information while I was there. Because I'm like, why not? But yeah, so, but that's an option too, because if they bring them, then other people, they don't have to take them back. Because that's the problem, is that when people bring sewing machines to places, they're like wanting you to buy them. But you know, if you have a cruise, say every year, every other year, and you're coming home with a sewing machine, it's like, how many carry-on sewing machines do you need, you know? But yeah. And then I would have to hire some other teachers, because I'm not teaching you every day. I might have to teach every day, but I'm hoping not to teach every day, you know. Depending on how many people sign up, you know. Because if we only have one classroom and then we only have one person teaching, then that's different. But if we have so many people that we need 2 rooms, then I guess I would have to have either more teachers or I'm teaching. So, you know, have to figure all of that out. Carissa says, I don't see the problem. Good evening, TNT Quilters, from Janet McCarroll. You need some perks. Yep. I know what Carissa's saying. I don't see the problem for. I'm just ignoring it right now. Patricia Priest is here. Deborah Holloway. Sue Allen. Talk to Cindy at Fabric Patch. They go on sewing cruises. They supply the machines. Yeah. What I've learned is the people that are doing it, I don't know anybody personally that does cruises and take the machines, and then most people that do, they're not willing to share that information with you, nor are the people that are doing it for those companies willing to go lose that contact with that company to do it for somebody new. I've gone through and talked to some people already about it, and just coming up on blank walls right now about sewing machines. And also, that's also, you know, first of all, it would be my first one. Second, I don't know how many people would actually sign up. especially being the first one. So that's the issues that I'm running into right now. Because I've tried. Belize has 2 good fabric stores. Ooh-wee. I will look for the video from Maddie. Okay. Sin Forest is here. And she says irons. That's it too. You can't bring an iron because they mandated that we could only have, I think it was 2 irons per room. And then the one room that did hand sewing, because we had 3 rooms, if I'm not mistaken. 2 sewing machines. No, we had 4 rooms. No, we had 2 rooms. We had 4 rooms. We had two sewing machine classes that were going for classes. We had a 3rd sewing machine room that had open sew, and then we had another room that was hand sewing. The hand sewing rooms did not have an iron. The rooms with the sewing machines had 2 irons in each room. That was it. Do not bring any stationary irons, any of that. They have you cut them off and you would get in trouble. So they don't want you bringing that. And then, thank you. Who was that said that? Sue Allen. Thank you. That's the other issue, was the irons. Sewing machines and irons, because they take up so much power. And the people that were in the embroidery room that had to press out their embroideries and stuff like that, they had to come into our rooms to use the irons whenever they needed to use an iron. So, yeah. Because, you know, some of them, you know, they might be embroidering on a tapestry, but then they might be using fabric for applique or wool. And so they needed to have it pressed so they wouldn't put a wrinkle in it, because it would make it not lay flat later on. So, yeah. Is this the second side? Yes, thank goodness. I lose track of what I'm doing when I'm in here sewing, talking, reading. All right, we're going to cut this. The irons, the irons, she says, are in the laundry area. These irons were in our classrooms. I'm talking about classroom irons, Helena. Hey, Renee Tanner, welcome. Brenda Foley says, I've never cruised. Curious, do they have irons in the rooms like motels? Nope. They do not. Linda Williams is here saying hello. Hello, Linda. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget that in a pinch, you can use your flat iron or curling iron to press a couple of seams. But not in the classroom. You can do that in your room. You cannot bring that into the room. They don't want them in the rooms, because they already got, the coordinator has already brought the maximum number of irons that are allowed. I am not going to be pressing this with a heated iron right here. So I'm going to use my little wood press just to give it memory, so I can go across the top and bottom. And then we will take this whole thing like I normally do and press later off camera on my big boards area. So my nose keeps itching. Turn it the other side so I can get the other seams. Did you get something from me? You mean like Zelle? Because I told you in a message that I got it. Facebook message. Is that what you're referring to, Ms. Remo? All right. Just gotta find my center. Put a crease in here and a pin. Okay, yeah, I told you on Facebook. You messaged me something on Facebook and I responded to that. The next set of borders, I put a clip in the small one so I would know which ones went on the sides and which went on the top and bottom, so I would not get confused. Folded seam right there. All right, so yes, I am in the process of getting final retreat payments in. I think I got about 7 people that have forgotten about me, so I gotta figure those out. You know, they could be in Houston too, so. Also, I sent out my first newsletter to the Teaquilts at yahoo.com. It's mostly about quilt retreat. So if you didn't get that and you're coming to the 2024 quilt retreat, that must mean that you're not a member of that group. It has a lot of the pre-information that you need about retreat. Everything is included except for what projects we're going to be working on. So if you didn't get that email, that means that you have not signed up for the Teaquilts news at yahoo.com. I don't run that group. I mean, I don't own that group. I'm in the group and I see what's going on in the group. And but I am not the owner of that account. So I am just letting you know that an email was sent. So if you haven't gotten it, that means that you haven't sent your email to say add you into that group. So if you need to get into that group, send an email to teaquiltsnews@yahoo.com and just in the subject put add, and then in the body just put your first and last name and you'll be added. Hi, Pamela Ebel. Hey, hey. It went out to about 70 people total. Also, it has information in there about our 2025 charity project. We're making pillowcases, and I gave people downloaded patterns to 3 different ways to make them. 1 where you have raw seams on the inside, and 2 where you have where they have French seams on the inside. And one of them is straightforward instructions, which is what I like. And then the other one has it's many pages because it has pictures for every step. So, you know, you can see a little bit better about what's going on. So, yeah. So, all of that information went out. If any of you Teaquilters that are not coming to retreat would like to do a pillowcase and donate it, you can do that as well. You can look up hot dog pillowcase, how to make a hot dog pillowcase, or how to do a burrito style pillowcase. I'm going to eventually do a video on it as well, but that's where it's from. All right, one side's pinned. Lots of pins later. I don't know why I put more. I feel like I put more pins in this than I did the long sides for some reason. Hey, Celia Swain, welcome, welcome. Deborah H says she got it. So thank you for the confirmation. I just don't want to be responsible. I have put it in various newsletters that went out telling people that they needed to join the other group. Since some of my emails are going out and some of them are not, we created a whole different group to make sure we don't have that issue. And then I don't send that particular one. I have her send it, although I provide all the information that's in it. And then I do go through and try to edit and make sure what I want in there is in there, just to double check, you know. But I don't press send on that, and so I'm hoping that that works so that everybody gets what they need. Almost everything you need for retreat, any questions you have right now except for projects, are included in that email. If it's not in there, it's a statement telling you it's coming. So just about every retreat question is answered in there. Especially for the new people. Got over 20-something new people coming. And I told you all I wasn't sure if I had 3 or 4 spaces available. I have 2 spaces available for retreat. We're at 38 out of 40. That's how many people I have scheduled booked for retreat right now. 38. So if you're wanting to come, now is the time. Deborah says, I signed up but did not receive the email. Just sent another email. Okay, because I didn't look at the names to see who all got it. But I know I didn't. Then she comes back and says she found it in her junk mail. Okay, because remember, this is a new email address, so you may have to add it as a contact in your email browser. Add it as a contact, and then that way it shouldn't put it in your junk mail, although sometimes Yahoo still does it to me. I have a contact going there and y'all all up in the spam folder. The people I don't want trying to get in touch with me, telling me I got a virus on my computer, I got to pay for them to get it off. Those are the people that'll get through. All right, we're almost done pinning. One more section right here. Last pin in. Now we got to take them all out. Betsy says, I got the email. Yes. And I did apologize to the people because I haven't had a chance to set up just a retreat email right now, but I figured, you know, there were 2 incentives in there that I sent to people, so you can do the charity project. So that was one. So I just told her to send it to everybody. Because she doesn't know who's coming to retreat and who's not. She don't know all of that. So we got to set up all the different, I was working on setting it up. But, you know, so many people get in and then I don't get back over into it for a while. And then it's like starting from scratch again. So I'll be starting from scratch. I tried to put a date the last time I updated it, so I'll go back and check all emails from that date for the ad. Whew. All right, I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. Shirley Wilshire is here, says, driving home from ball game and listening. Hey, Shirley, welcome. Holly says, I received the email also. Yes, thank you. Just, I know some of my, like, Norma let me know that she got it, so I know it went out, so I can't be responsible if you didn't sign up. Okay, we're out of bobbin thread. Nose is still itching. Okay, I'm still sweating. My fan was on low, that's why it wasn't on medium. My ceiling fan, I must have got cold in here offline and changed it. All right, guys, I got 3 bobbins I'm about to change, so I got 2 in here. And the last time I wound bobbins was on August 25th. And I still got 3, and I wind 10 bobbins at a time. So yeah, I told you all I would keep track of that. I put a little note in here. These Bonita bobbins are the bomb, okay? Look in your junk folders. If you're signed up to the email group, look in your junk mail folders. If not, send another request asking to be added. Make sure check your junk folders though. Anybody that asked to be added, we put you in. See, she's saying, oops, I found it. See? When did it go out? Yesterday or Thursday? I can't remember if it went out yesterday or Thursday. I think it went out yesterday because Thursday I did all the typing and stuff for it. As I was typing each little sections, I would send her 2 or 3 sections at a time, so she could compile it all into one, and I could just deal with individual topics. So it was like a team effort. And Maddie's saying she got it. Yeah, you gotta look. You gotta look. And that's why I also try to announce when I send stuff out, so you know to look for it, especially this being a new address. You have to also include it as a contact. Trying to see where did my thread, like, you know, I got a line of thread, but I think it was tight because it was running out. So I want to go back about an inch or so. Okay. Holly says she received it November 1st, so that was yesterday, yes. Because I started working on it. I started working on the topics Thursday. It took a good chunk of time. I'm working on that, and I'm also working, I was at the same time working on retreat payments, so that was Halloween, the 31st, last day of the month, so. Okay, oh, it's just caught on some of the phrase. I'm like, am I not sewing? I've been pulling pins out. All right, so we're going to sew these top and bottom borders on. I will press this all later. And then, hopefully, what time is it? Oh, it's 8:50. I was trying to be through by 8:45, but I do know that at the beginning it takes a little time to go through the hellos. That's why I was trying to do a little bit before I went live. Remo's reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate you, Remo. Thank you, thank you. Nana says she's working on Dragon and Fruit Block of the Month with Fat Quarter Shop by Tula Pink. Free Spirit Fabrics. Awesome, awesome. What is the other people working on? That's the only one I've seen so far. I just dropped a pin. And I don't even have my shoes even in the room today, okay? So, really hoping I don't get a pin in my foot. What did I do with... chapstick? You know the weather is about to change, boy. Ooh-wee. Michelle the Quilter, are you behind in the chat or something like that? It was sent November 1st, yesterday. Brenda says, dang, I will have to buy batiks. I don't have any. Oh my goodness. You can just buy one fabric. Well, you can buy like four, say 4 fat quarters. I don't know how many pieces you'll get out of each fat quarter because I haven't calculated like that. So you can make them scrappy, but you don't have to buy a lot of different fabric. Just make your block scrappy. They can all be the same fabric because they're going to different people. So you don't have to go out and buy a lot of fabric. But they are batiks. And the reason I do that is, you know, ask people not to use cheap batiks, which I've put a photo in the in the Teaquilts group. I get asked, what's a cheap batik? You know, you'll know the difference. It's not to say I've never used them because I have quilt tops made with them and they're fine. But when you're swapping with somebody that's a batik enthusiast, they don't want cheap batiks. However, the reason why I did that is because every year they'll match up to the previous blocks that we've received. And then number two, there are so many different grades of just generic fabric that if you do batiks, it's only the cheap batiks that you've got to look out for. All the rest of them, if you get them from a fabric company, Hoffman, Timeless Treasures, blah, 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 they're going to be the right batik. If you're going to get it from some off-brand or no-brand batik, just know that that's probably your cheap batik. So that's why we do that. Because I don't want to hear people coming to me complaining about the fabric. Okay, I think that's it. And I think I've back stitched. So I don't have to worry about that when I go to quilt. And we've got our borders on. So the whole quilt's now put together. I just need to... I found some fabric I'm going to use. I got to cut 2 lengths. Oops. I'll use this for the backing. And I just need to cut 2 lengths and then sew it together. So that's ready. Deborah says she's putting borders on her sister's Xmas quilt. Now that's nice. Too cool. Lana says, T, how wide is that border? It's nice. It's a 4-inch finish, so cut 4.5. Color is matching nicely with what I see of the quilt top. It's got all colors in it, but I use more of the blue stuff because that was the team color was blue, and then I went ahead and just used whatever color you use for your border. It's going to really make the color of a quilt top that's multicolor. So it's going to make that color come out even more. And Brenda says, I won't be able to tell the difference. Right. All right. Ugh. So I had somebody ask me, and I can't remember who it was, if I was going to sew the boxy bag that I showed, was I going to sew one here? So I had one more piece of this fabric left from the strip that I cut off my yardage. So I went ahead and said, okay, let's make another boxy bag. This time, this one I did doesn't have a lining. And then the one I did with the Mickey Mouse, I've since put in the mail. I had a pocket in there, and then I also had iron-on vinyl to make it so that it was waterproof. So this time I'm going to do the cork, which I could do without a lining, but you'll have raw edges. But I'm going to add this backing, and then I've already put, you can see the shine, I've already put iron-on vinyl onto this. So these are going to be my 2 pieces of fabric, and I got a pin marked in here so that I know what the top is, because look what I did. So hopefully this gets cut out. I was ironing, and you see this black thread, it's under my iron-on vinyl. That happens because we're filled with threads in our areas. So that happens sometimes. So for people that are wanting to know how to make a boxy bag, this is a 16.5-inch piece, square, both pieces. You can make them any size you want. I don't know what size this is going to be. It should be a good size one because of my starting square. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. I'm gonna start with this, my front, just so I can get it on first. And I don't have my zipper pull on. I'm using I guess I should put my zipper pull on so I know which way this thing is opening up. I'm using a continuous zip where you can cut whatever length you want. But I guess I should put this on here so I can know which way it's going to open. I need to just sit it flat so I can get this on here. And then if it's going the wrong way, then I need to take it off and put it on the right way. Yep, that's how it be. So I was going to put it on the wrong way. So that's why it's good to look. All right, because when it opens, I want it to open for you right-handed people. Even though I'm left-handed. Okay. So I'm going to put the zipper on top. And I want to make sure I got room down here, so I do, so I can move my zipper down even further. Oh goodness, we need some clips. So I'm putting my zipper right sides together with the top of my bag. Since I'm using a square, it doesn't really matter but whatever is the top of your bag. If you've got a directional print, you see how I have one piece of fabric here? You may have to cut your piece into cut it in half so you can rotate the other side. I've done boxy bags on here many times, but apparently somebody missed it, so that's why I haven't been recording doing those. I've just been doing them because there are certain things like my cousin's wife. She's my cousin, but she's my cousin's wife. She asked me for this bag back in February with a Mickey Mouse bag, and I did not do that. So I was like, I need to get it done. So I made one on Cork just so I can see what size, because I never write it down. I just do whatever. Okay, I'm going to change to I'm using a single hole plate. That's not going to work. And I'm going to change to my zipper foot. And I'm just going to use this white thread. I'm not going to switch thread. Got so much stuff back here. Got to get the right thing. So we're just taking off my regular quilting stuff right now. We'll be putting that back on. I just dropped a zipper foot. It's like, no. And then everything I drop, it like flies and disappears. It's like, no, it's up under the chair this time. But I thought I was really going to have to go searching. Ooh-wee. All right, so I'm going to use my zipper foot to put the zipper on just because it gives me more room. And now I've got to move my line over. If I get the right thing, I keep moving the wrong thing. Okay. I need this presser foot up. Oh. I'm like, why aren't you moving? Because I gotta tell it that I've changed my foot. Bernina, it's something else. Sure do. We got to tell her. Well, the one thing about that is it prevents you from busting up a needle. I've changed everything, but it won't move the needle because it still thinks I'm sewing with the single hole. And then as soon as I hit that button, it pops itself right on over there. It's smarter than me. Now I probably got it too far over. I want to see where it's going to hit. Okay. All right. Carissa says, I'm procrastinating on getting this binding done. I hate trying to get the tails cut right. Already had to add new binding strip tonight. Oh my goodness. The end part. Michelle says, I was a few minutes behind. Thanks. Yeah, I figured she had to be a few minutes behind. Donna says, I purchased some cork fabric like that from Joann's. Don't forget to fall back an hour tonight, Teaquilters, from Kevin. Yes. Holly says, had the bright idea of making a stuffed bear to add to the other baby shower gifts. Underestimated degree of difficulty as usual. Thank goodness shower is tomorrow, laughing out loud. Yep. All right, so I'm just got this on here. I'm going to use my presser foot, and I'm just going to, this is just a basting, so I'm not going to really use the edge of it. I'm just going to baste this down. And then, because I'm going to put my lining fabric under here. So I'm just going to stitch it down, but not be on the edge. like I would if I was, and I'm going to increase my stitch length. I quilt at 2.0. I just put it on 2.5. The zipper foot just gives you a little bit more room to, you know, not have the zipper itself, the zipper teeth, up against your presser foot. Some machines it doesn't matter, like on my Juki or Brother, I don't have to do this, but I do on this, on the Bernina. It just stitches better. Okay, here's my pin for the top. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure I've got my 2 pieces lined up on the side so I know that they're straight. They're going to end up with each other. Do it over here as well. And then we can just clip the rest of it. Since this is so heavy, I try to put a few extra clips in here because I got vinyl also onto on my fabric. But normally I would have some kind of interfacing if I didn't have vinyl. Now this time I'm going to just use the edge of my zipper foot. The edge of my zipper foot is on my fabric. Trying to make sure my clips don't get caught anywhere. Coming up over my table. I got a 1/4 inch seam strip up here. It wants to get caught on that. So I just slow it down a little bit. Alright. Everywhere I go, I have strings in my life. I got blue now on here from sewing the t-shirt quilt. Alright. So I'm just going to, so I had these 2 right sides together and I just flipped them back so that I have this. I would normally sew across here, but because I'm using my zipper foot, I wonder if I can do it with the zipper foot. Let's try it. Because I would normally just go ahead and sew the other side, then put my other foot back on and continue. But I'm going to see if we can do it. I'm just going to put a clip on the side just to help hold that down because you can't, well, they say you can press cork. I haven't tried. But I also have vinyl, so I'm not pressing anything with a heated iron. So I just want to get this as flat as possible. And just top stitch this. See if we can do it. See, I didn't want to move my stitch. Let's see if that's close enough. Right up against the edge of the zipper. And I might want to go up to 3.0 on this one for top stitching. 3.5 might be good too. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get any puckers in the back. Alright, so I just top stitched that. So now it's no longer rolling up here at the top. there is no rule that says you have to do that, but if you're going to get into bag making, the finishing touches is what's going to make yours stand out to over someone else's. I got my thread tail in here in my stitching. And I want it out because I don't like it. I want it neat as can be. I mean, we're not perfect, but the things that I can control, I try to control those. All right, so now I'm going to just pull up my front so you can see it like this, just the front only to the top of my zipper, and then I'm going to base that down again. And I'm going to make sure that all the sides are equal. And if it's not equal, it is no big deal because you can make your bag any size you want. You just trim it at the end and you can make it even if you didn't get it even initially. All right. Sin says, I'm supposed to be finishing my piano keyboard, but instead I'm sitting in my rocker holding the kitty cat. Aww. Hey, Mary F. Welcome to the chat. All right. Here we go. I'm just going to base. I'm going to go back down to my 2.5. which is also my piecing, what I'm piecing with. But I just want to go less than my zipper foot width because this is just basting. I think it's a lot easier to show if I base first and then sew it. So I just put right sides to the zipper and basted. Now I'm going to pull the lining to the opposite side. So I've got two pieces hanging here. A lot of people think they're supposed to wrap back around like this. So you've got two individual pieces when you pull them up. Still got blue thread coming through. I mean, I did not have that thread over here long, and you see how long threads and stuff hang out with me. And I try to control them. When I see them, I try to get them. So two pieces here. And now I'm just going to use the edge of my zipper foot for a seam. You got to remember to lift up over all of these places where my clips can get caught. So now, in order for me to top stitch the other part, because I've got this that won't come apart, I've got to open up this zipper. That's why sometimes when I have continuous zips, I don't even open them. So I'm gonna hold the zip just so it doesn't come off. And then I'm gonna turn it right sides out because I got a top stitch on the top. So one side I've already top stitched when I just had those two pieces down. The second side I've got this going on that I've got a top stitch. So again, I'm gonna try to push everything down, and it's a little bit, the iron-on vinyl makes it a little bit stiffer. You see how it's just standing, making its own body. So you do have to work with iron-on vinyl a little bit more than if you just had a regular piece of cotton. But it's okay. I'm just gonna put that on the end to just hold that down, and then come back over here. Close this just a little for right now. Pull this down so I can get to the other side, and put a clip over here. All right, and I'm just clipping the sides so that it can give me a couple inch or two where I know it's flat on the sides, so hopefully it won't pull there later on. So then I'm just going and using my hand to push it down. And I started the other way, but I'm wondering, I may be taking my zipper off because I put my zipper all the way on the end, guys. There we go. It just came off, so we can get rid of it. I put it all the way on the end. And then I also want to go back up to my 3.0 stitch length. A lot of people use 3.5. The thicker their materials are. But I want to sew it the exact same how I sewed the other one. So that's why I want to go this direction. And then I'll just have to put my zipper pull back on. Alright. So I think it just goes back on this way. I'm going to put it on here because I'm about to put some little tabs on here. So I want to make sure. Cian says, if anyone hasn't seen Miss T's video on piano keyboarders and how to perfectly miter the corners, you're really missing out. T's method is brilliant. Yes, and it looks like you did a lot of work. I think sometimes we get stuck into what we want and then we go that direction without realizing that you can do something so simple and get the exact same thing. I'm trying to figure out which way should this zipper be on here. Now that I'm sitting here doing it, you know. Hold on. I got dog ears. I mean, not dog ears, thread tails and everything else trying to join the party over here. And my zipper, because it's been off for a while, it's starting to fray. And I want to make sure they're as even as possible when I go to scoop this on here. Let me turn it towards me. I may have to recut my zipper. And hold on, right there. keeps coming off. I don't even know if I brought my lighter in here. Sometimes I burn the zipper ends. It looked like this one needs to be burned. See, this would happen. I got it on here the first time with no problem, right? Doing the live. This is when you start having issues. Got it on here the first time with no problems. I got to get them even too. They got to be even. And now I've got all of this bulky material pushing back. And my zipper is fraying. Trying to get them out the way. All right. Try this again. Put one side on. I've been trying to put the problem side on first, but it won't even stay. Like, it don't even want to be first. I can't do it that way. Hi, Zandra. Welcome to the chat. And I pray this zipper go on here right. You know, with all this extra work. I have a zipper thing somewhere. It's over there. I think I see it. I don't use it that often. I thought I saw something flash in my camera. I got one side of the zipper that goes on, and the same one side act like it don't want to come to the party. Okay, it's on here now. But I'm gonna have to pull it back to even it out. Right there. And then see if we can scooch it on here. It's not exact, but that's what we're working with. All right, finally got the zipper on. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to tape this in. Oops, my tape is not. I want to put some tape on the underside. I'm just doing this to keep my zipper down. Keep it together because I'm going to put my tab on here. I got string in my mouth or something. All the strings between the zipper and the other thing. So I just cut some tabs that are like 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. And I'm trying to figure out, you know what? I took them out of here because I was changing containers. Hold on. I got to go get D-rings. Oops. I don't know why my trash can got in there. got a lot of multicolor zippers, but I don't think I have D-rings that are multicolor. Let me make sure. I've got that over here. I think it's just zippers in here. I don't think there's any D-rings. Oh, I do have D-rings, but they're the huge ones. They're too big. I didn't know that. I've been overlooking them. Got the pretty hooks. These are so big. I should have. Is it 1 inch? Yes, 1 inch on the inside. I'm gonna use them anyway. All that I left for nothing. I looked at the case and said there aren't any multicolored ones in here. So I might be taking my zippers out of here and putting them in the other case. I do kind of like the zipper pulls in here because I got the zippers in here. But yeah. So I'm going to use these anyway. Okay. So what I want to do is just go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is all flat and even too. Because when I put the zipper back on, it's moved it a little bit. I'm not looking for center. I just need to make sure all my edges are the same. So I'm going to trim them up. I hate to use this rotary cutter to go over the zipper, but I don't have a choice because I don't have another one in here right now. Yeah, because my zipper was off a little bit. My piece didn't line up. Ooh, Lord. Well, we're gonna, I don't know why my masking tape is peeling off incorrectly. It's like I didn't do anything to you. So we won't get done with this today at the rate we're going. Ugh. I'm gonna pull the zipper in so that I can cut these ends even now. So I need to move my tape. Line up the bottom square all the way to the end and just cut what I don't need. So I'm cutting my zipper early now. Okay. Just because I didn't line the zipper back up right. It gave me so much trouble, there was no way I was taking it back out. All I want to do is sew this over the zipper part and nowhere else. I don't want to put stitches anywhere else, and I'm just basting this part on. Just a tab, and since it's cork, I don't have to worry about finishing any of the edges. I've got my two pieces together, but it's not going to matter because all I'm stitching over is the zipper teeth right here. I'm not going to stitch it anywhere else. In the center. And I just wanted it right up a little bit past the edge so I know I caught it. But just trying to get this stitched down. Get this pinned, and then I'll open it up once I get it stitched. And we can do this side. I'm gonna take this off. I normally just slide it right in the middle, but I'm trying to do it where it's all on one side right now. And it's proving to it's giving me a little trouble. So I tell you what, I'm not gonna fight with it. It's giving me a little trouble. I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this right side out. Okay, my fan ran out of power. Remember that 50% I had Wednesday? It just died. Oops. I gotta flip this and take it off of itself. We're gonna just slide it in the middle like I normally do. I don't know why I'm trying to put it on here now this way. So I need to get my two pieces back separated. Okay. All right. And my zipper pull is just in the middle, which is fine. All right. I want to find the centers of these. And I'm going to make a little cut mark because I don't want to put pins in either one of these. So I'm just going to put a little V for where the centers are. And I'm going to do that on the cork and the lining. I don't know why I was trying to do it different today. Right there. Okay. Okay, so basically I just marked centers because I want to pull those centers that I marked up to the center of the zipper. So pull that up to the zipper in the center. And I am going to put a clip. Okay. Go back over here and put a clip. All right. Then we're going to do the same thing on both ends to both pieces. So, yes, well, go ahead and do the cork while I'm here. Ooh-wee. This is in the middle with the zipper. Pull this out. All right. One side's done. We're going to go down and do the other ends. This is where I would really like for my tape to do its work. So let's see if we can get the tape here. So I know where center is on my zipper. Right there. Over here. And clips. Alright, last part, the cork. My little center mark to the center of the zipper teeth. And then we can clip those. Alright, and this is where I'm going to have to add in too. But I'll do that. We're going to sew. We're not going to sew the part where the zipper is because we're going to put our tabs in there, and then we're also going to sew that all down to itself. So I'm going to not sew where the zipper is, but I'm going to sew the side seams. Hold on. Let me put a clip on this so I don't lose this. Okay. So in here, you've got your zipper in here. And I'm going to be sewing these 4 flaps on both ends, but I'm going to stop when I get to the zipper. I don't want to go onto the zipper or get as close to the zipper as I can. If you can't get all the way up, that's fine. But you don't want to sew the 4 layers together, and you don't want to sew on the zipper. We do want to go back to our regular presser foot. That we do. Go over here and change everything back into Bernina. That's why I don't like changing stuff. It's too much. Change the foot. Search for 97. And now it'll pop right on back into position. Maybe not. Now it should be in position. Yeah. It's like, come on, machine. Put these up so we don't lose them. That wouldn't be fun. All right. So now we're ready to sew. And you can, I like to sew like a generous 1/4, 3/8. Okay. I want to go as close to the zipper as I can. I don't have to be right on it. So that's 2. Then I'm going to make sure this lines back up because this vinyl fabric will move on you because it is slippery. So we're just going to sew all 8 of these seams now. I'm going to make sure I sew my vinyl the same size as the previous seam here. I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to leave an opening for turning. So I'm going to have to open this up. Okay. All right. So we we've got 2 seams. I'm not going to worry about the thread tails because they're going to be tucked in the end. Okay, cut that. I am going to go in and I'm going to cut, because these are going to be my bottom. I'm going to cut my lining so that I can make a room for an opening. I'm just going to do that. Oops. And then I'm going to sew it back together, but leaving an opening for turning. Okay. So and I'm going to make this like 3/8 of an inch too, because I want my lining to be a little bit tighter in the bag. So this part I'm going to stitch like 3/8 of an inch. And it should already be tighter. I just find my linings don't ever, I have so much extra lining. So hopefully this will work. 3/8 of an inch. Woo-wee. Okay. All right, now we can go back to doing the sides. Did I get that other side? One more over here. Okay. I don't know. I do much better when I'm by myself. I'm trying to double stitch in the areas, if I remember. I've been doing that so that when I go to cut this to make my box corners, I don't have to worry about stitching back over it. So where I think I'm going to cut, I'll just go ahead and back stitch. All right, that's one. This one right here. I'm going to do like 1 1/2, 1 1/4, something like that, 1 3/4. It doesn't matter. What time is it? Oh, we got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Boxing the corners take the longest time because we got 8 of them. One more of these to sew. Ugh. One more. All right, we can cut that. So now I've got those. I want to, now that I've got this space, you can see where I've kind of stitched. Let me show it on this side. I've got that opening in the middle. That's where I'm going to slide my D-rings in. Slide the D-rings in and clip those. But I want to slide them in on the side with the front, not the lining. We don't want them inside. Slide them in on the right side, girl. All right, and then we'll leave a little of this hanging out so we can see it. And then I'm gonna reclip. Okay, you can do that to both sides because I'm doing 2 of those. Two of these. Leave a little tip hanging out so I can see it. I've got all of my layers together at this point, and now I'm going to stitch where I did not stitch before. I'm going to stitch that opening close. So now I'm just stitching 1.5 inch, about that much, and I'm making sure my D-rings are not in the seam. I'm going to back stitch on it too as I'm going. Come down and connect my seams, and now I can cut. So now I just closed that seam up that had a hole in it. And I'm going to do the same thing on this other one. My D-ring is down. Okay. And then that side is now closed. So then I just cut off the extra now. Now we got box corners. The fun part. Alright. I'm going to use a ruler and a pen, and I'm going to mark from my seam line 1.5, but 1 3/4 from the folded side because it doesn't have a seam. So that's what we're gonna do. And then I'm gonna got both of these laying here. I'm gonna cut them both. Normally cut them one at a time. We're running out of minutes. So I'm going to cut them both at the same time. It's enough. I can't sew them together. All right. Do that for all the corners. 1 3/4 over here, 1 1/2 over there. 1 3/4, 1 1/2. Okay. Hold that and cut. Alright, 2 out. Next, other side. So, lay right on top. 1 and... Okay, this one here got the seam. I can't do it. Got to do it separate. 1 1/2 from there, 1 3/4 over here. Mark this. Okay. This side side does not have a seam, so I can mark it 1 1/2, 1 3/4. Y'all quiet in the chat today. Super quiet. You can say this girl don't know what she doing. I don't ever use a pattern to make my boxy bags, but when I do them without the camera being on, everything is super fine. All right, I gotta cut this one, but I need to mark this bottom one because I got a seam in here. So 1 1/2, 1 1/2 from both seam lines. So we want to cut right here. And let me come over here and see what this seam line is, because I think I marked it the same. 1 1/2. It needs another 1/4 right there. It needs 1 more 1/4 off of here. I'm glad I remembered to come back over here and look. All right. This is the one where I forgot I had the seam in the vinyl for the lining. Trying to take it up a little bit. All right, those 2 ends are done. Cut these separate because they're on different cut lines. Right there, and then right here. And right here. All right. We got everything cut. Now we got to box corners. And they're separated. Like you can box each corner separately. And it would have been easier to do this had I done it before I stowed my pieces down, but that's okay. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm changing it up while I'm on the live. Just not using my brain right now. Just not using my brain. Because now I got 2 bulky fabrics. Okay. I'm going to put a little clip on there to hold that. Squash it down. Okay. Am I trying to reverse? So do your box corners before you stitch down your side, that 1 inch closure to attach everything. You'll have more room. Look like I stitched over my bag a little bit. This is called the struggle bus. People laugh at me when I say the struggle bus. This would be the struggle bus. Didn't get all the pieces underneath. So now I have to go back. I keep hitting reverse, but it seemed like it don't want to reverse right when I hit it. All right. Yeah. Box your corners before you put your tabs in. Because I definitely don't remember it being this difficult. Okay. And this is the slippery side. Now I'm working with the vinyl. The vinyl, when you put vinyl in, it just moves all over the place. So you really have to be careful. Make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay. The cork isn't a problem. The vinyl went and slipped under the cork. Okay, got 2 of them done. 2 out of 8, good Lord. We got a lot to go. So I'm just going to manipulate the bag and get it scooched around as much as I can. All right. Pin this up on the clip, not pin. I'm not using pins because of cork and vinyl. We don't need that one. Just make sure I got the cork under. That's not normally the problem. The problem is keeping the vinyl under. So I'm going to sew the vinyl first, so it'll be one whole piece at least this time. And the cork normally stays where I put it. Alright, now let's do the cork. Here, get my ends together. Clip and a clip. Trying to see which way it wants to naturally go, my seam, and let it go that way. Hi Sean, Go Savvy Designs. Gotta make sure that vinyl don't come back up. We're almost done. One side is done, we just got to do the other side. Vinyl first. Put some clips. Vinyl first. And a clip. Alright, we're only going to do one side at a time. Make sure we keep this vinyl in line. Do the other vinyl to get it out the way too, and then come back and do the cork. All right, which way do you want to go? To the my left. To my left. And put a clip. It's so slippery. But I like having the insides where you can wipe it out. That I do like. Just gotta get it all bunched under here. Get the cork out. And we're gonna just get this tacked so I can make sure this cork is not under here. All right, vinyl is done. The worst part, because it moves so much. Cork will move too, but not as much as vinyl. I'm going to get my ends first to make sure I got those out and up. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat. Maybe some rice, fried rice or something. Okay, you want to go that way? We'll let you go that way. The seam allowances will kind of tell you which way they want to go, so. All right, 2 more seams. Well, 3 technically. It's 10:02. If you all gotta go, I will see you all later. But I'm too close to like not finish it now. I've got 2 more box seams and then just the seam for closing the inside. Let me go over that. One more box corner. Got them all beat up. And then, and I don't have to sew the inside part either. Necessarily, but it won't take that long. Here's this one. And this one just popped on up and out of here. Not too much trouble for that one. All right, now we got to line up the center, push down. See, once the vinyl is kind of sewed to itself, it kind of behaves a little bit better. So that's something I learned. Good night. Hi, Yolanda Riza. Okay. All right. So let's flip this out through the lining. It's stiff with the cork and the vinyl. This is my first time. Every time I'm doing something with the cork, I'm trying to do something different with it as well. So, see if how I like the body of it. Just poking out my corners because I got to poke those out before I close it up. Okay, that's the cork on that side. Cork on this side. And I didn't even put a label on here, a Teaquilts label. Maybe I'll sew it on top. It'll just go through the lining. Okay, so now I want to go through this lining and get those corners poked out. Just so I know they're all poked out and not laying on themselves. Yeah, see, I like taking a little seam because it makes the lining a little smaller than the bag, which I think works out because my linings are always bigger than the bag otherwise. So I just want to see what it looks like. So this is a pretty long bag. And I just gotta get it all where I press it. Try to give it some place to box up. All right. So now I'm gonna go back and take this lining out so I can close this part. Now I told you all that I don't hand stitch them, first of all. Second, I have been using just stitch witchery, but since this is vinyl, I don't want to press it again, you know, so I'm just gonna stitch it down. Yeah, but I've started using stitch witchery to just close my bags. I'm like, that's just too much work. Especially on things when I do it in the embroidery machine and I have to do it by hand because it's so tight I can't even get into the space. So yeah, I've been rebelling. I'm like, it's the inside of a bag. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. So I have to play with I'll form it a little bit better off camera when I get some time. Okay, we want to go back down to like 2.5. I'm just stitching like 1/8 of an inch from the edge to close it because I don't want to do it by hand. Want to make sure we didn't have a hole there. Guess I could cut this off because I don't think I'm going to be putting fire next to this. All right, so now I got to go in here and really get the lining tucked into the corners of the body. looks cute inside. And like I said, Cork, it has no seam here, so you have to kind of like, they say you can press cork. I've never done it. I guess I could practice on a piece of paper, but you could like shape your bag. Now, since I added lining, this bag is light, so I don't know if I would have added, you know, like next time maybe adding batting, because I added a lining with vinyl. Adding batting onto the vinyl on the cork, or adding foam, or adding like I forget the name of the other stuff that's thin but sturdy. I want to say Vilene, but I'm not sure if that's the name of it. But it's really pretty. I do like it. It's got its zipper pull. This time instead of I almost dropped it. But this time, instead of this gold one that I used, it's now got the same one that matches the zipper. Because like I said, I'm just in here sewing, and I'll be pulling stuff out. This was definitely a test bag. But this one, I just cut the last piece. I said whatever size it is what we're going to do, just to see how long it is. I used the same size boxing of the corners. So it's the same size that way. It's just a lot longer. You want to see the difference in the heights? Let me hold it up like this. The difference in the height is remarkable. I think I did like 12 by 17. No, this was 12 by 15. And this was a 16.5 inch square. So this was 12 by 16. And this was 16. So that's where it shows up. 4 inches here. So nice bag. You can, now this can put a lot in. Yeah, you can put a lot in, a lot of toiletries in here. So that's nice. I got to figure out how to put a tag on here. Well, I guess it's just going to go through the lining if I do put one on here. I had it laying here and just forgot. And now I just dropped it. But that's okay. I'll find it. I don't even know which direction it went. Okay. Yolanda, who is that? Oh, Monty Pep. Is that Monty Pep? Says, it looks like a loaf of bread. Here it is in my lap. So, this should be where it should be. But then I would have a seam on the inside of the bag, putting it on there. Maybe I'll see about using some fabric glue. I'll probably do that instead. I'll just clip it up here at the top, so I know I need to put it on here. But the bags are cute. I thought this would have more. This one by itself without the lining sits up more than this, but I don't know if it's because it's longer or not. Now, I'm wondering if the vinyl, because it's heavy, is competing with the cork for body form. So that's what I don't know. So this is all interesting to me. And then I can try too to see if I press a scrap and see if I can like press the corners in and see if that works. And then I still have to be careful because I got the vinyl on the inside. So this one right here, I haven't done any pressing. It just set up with me doing, you know, just a regular hand down one time because I haven't done anything else to it. But yeah. But yeah, I think this would be great too. Like if you're traveling, it gives you a little bit more room to put your items in too. And it's longer, so for those things that are long, like say if you take hairspray or something like that, you know, it'll fit, whereas it won't fit in here, but it'll definitely fit in here. You could also use this for a sandals bag too, some shoes, because shoes would fit in here. I don't have any in here to show you because I don't, and I keep forgetting. I'm moving around and I've dropped a couple pins. So yeah, but I I cut off about a half yard of 54-inch wide cork, and I was able to get, I don't have the other bag in here, but I have a flat bag, a pouch, and then I made these 2 boxy bags from that with hardly any waste because I just made this bag whatever what was left. So yeah. Good night, Carissa. And my brother, he should be gone now. Good night, Ray. Linda says, oh, I received the soup cubes today. A great idea for freezing stews and soups. Thanks so very much for sharing. You're welcome. I got some in my, I got to take them out of the cubes. And then once they freeze, I take them out of the cubes and put them into like either the air seal bags you can do for food. I have that, but it's so much easier for me to just do like a double Ziploc bag. I put them in those and then I just double Ziploc bag them and then they last. Bonita says, is the Quilter's Moonshine Spray Starch? Yes. I know what you're asking now. You got that at retreat. So yes, it is. It's made with the vodka. And you know, everybody has their own formula, so you just figure out what you want. I do it like this. If you make somebody's formula and then you want your stuff stiffer, then you add more of the vodka. Me, I just tend to do like, I just need sizing so I can just do general piecing or cutting. So I don't go as heavy in. Now, if I'm doing something and I want it stiffer, I know I need to put more in for the technique that I'm finna do. So it just depends on what I'm doing. Sin says, maybe you're thinking of fleece. No, it's like, I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. It's like a stabilizer. It's not Peltex, but it's stiff like Peltex, but it's real thin and stiff. And you can sew through it. And then they got one that's a heavyweight. I just can't remember the name of it right now. I haven't used it in a minute, but I have used it in bags before. It would be great to be underlining its cork right now. I'm still laughing at Monty Pep says it looks like a loaf of bread. It really does with it being that long. Remo says awesome bags. So yeah, I will put this one in here. I guess I'm gonna be giving this one away. So I'll see if they want me to glue the label on here, sew it on here, or whatever. Or even if they want the label on here, you know. So yeah, so I'm gonna get off of here. I'm up here just looking at it now, trying to just figure things out with the side. But like I said, once you put your stuff in here, I don't think it's you're gonna be concerned about it as much as going in a suitcase. But it'll sit on your counter when you get to the hotel room. That's the main thing. So am I like missing comments again? Let me go out and come back in just to make sure. Yeah, it wasn't giving me bags. Glory Jean saying nice. Remo says awesome bags. Remo's reminding you ought to hit that thumbs up on your way out. Decoville. Thank you, Glory Jean. Decoville. Because it's Decoville and then Decoville Light. Decoville Light would be great on here, and you just don't put it in the seam. You know, you cut it, whatever your seam allowance is, shorter. So I would say 3/8 of an inch shorter than your bag. And then that way it's just sitting inside the middle, holding everything together. And I think it's adhesive, if I'm not mistaken, or they got one that's adhesive. So you can even iron it on. That was really nice. So thank you for helping me out with that. I appreciate you guys. Yes. Now is Decoville? Yeah, I think it is by Pellon. Now that I think about it, I bought it by the boat, but I don't use it all the time, so I can't remember. So good night, everybody. Patricia Pre says awesome bag. So thank you, thank you. So that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna skedaddle. Go find me something to eat, I guess. And then I got a few payments came in, so I guess I need to go process those so that I know who has sent payments in. For retreat, again, we only got 2 spots available. If you were thinking about retreat, now is the time. So we're gonna go ahead and leave here. You all stay blessed, be safe, everyone, and quilt out. See you Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.